right, so doing an update on Affimed, tickers AFMD. We got a downgrade from Stiefel. The analyst is pointing out that there should be a little bit of setbacks because the monotherapies for AFM13 and AFM24 have not been great. Let's actually go to the Seeking. This is a Seeking Alpha summary. So the big thing is this is stuff. This is not data release. This is just somebody pointing out and then just basically covering the fact that they need to change their 9 to a 2. I'll say the 2 is pretty harsh, but I'm not surprised there's been a downgrade. I mean, the whole market's falling over. You're not going to be the analyst who's going to stick to a 9 when the stock's trading under $2 a share in the first place. So I'm not surprised, and he's keeping it at 2. It's probably smart because I don't think the market's going anywhere really quick anytime soon, especially into these speculative names that are going to need cash. So that's why all these speculative names are just rolling over and trading at all-time lows. So it's probably smart, makes them look good, rather than stupid. So, not saying the guy's stupid, but keeping a 9 is obviously not smart. Anyway, let's move on. So anyway, going on to AFM13, 13, AFM24. They have not been perfect in the clinic, especially as monotherapies. I will point out that AFM13, 13, and Hodgkin's lymphoma did not do well in terms of ORR. It's like low teens, or no, they were high teens in terms of that. But then when you the combination with the NK, I believe was like 100%. So that kind of makes sense. I've been a person that I didn't think the monotherapies were going to be like. I mean, maybe it would have had a shot and with a specific indication. Maybe hematological or solids would have a better one or the other. And obviously, that is what AFM13 and 24 are really basically supposed to be. So maybe one of those was going to have a better shot. The other is a monotherapy. But honestly, those monotherapies to me, are just showing efficacy. Can it work? And they didn't do well with dose escalation. And I mean, I'll ask you this: if you're going to add more of them into your system, and if you're just trying to get NK cells to a tumor to engage it, I'm not sure if adding more to the system would. Presumably it would help out, but it's not like a chemotherapy where you're adding more, you're going to get more, more out of it. Obviously, you can't just pummel the person with chemo. There's reasons why, but you're doing this to ask the person's NK cells to show up, and so I think you have to go with the idea that they're going to have these the combinations, the AFM13 with the NK, and even with the PD1 or PDL1, or just a checkpoint inhibitor. That's probably going to be what you really need. I always thought this was a combination thing. I mean, I just can't imagine that just throwing those into the system and you're going to have like just absolute instant like tumor evisceration. It just didn't make any sense. Cancer, I don't think cancer was just going to be gone. So I'm not really surprised. Now, is this guy right with the idea of setbacks? Probably. He did bring up this one, Takeda TAK 007. FDA's not, they're asking 2 years to go back there. So maybe it's what the setbacks and the issues that he's really pointing out is not necessarily is the platform destroyed. It's just the company needs to figure out what their program is that really does work and what dosages, and they might have to really do like an idea, like a rerun of dose escalation to figure out what they need to do there. Is that a massive issue? Yeah, I mean, money-wise, it sucks. Yeah, because you're going to burn more, and your time to getting on the market's going to be pushed back significantly. But I don't think that really kills the platform. I don't think it really. Maybe it's just bad planning. I'm not really sure. Like I said, the Hodgkin's lymphoma one for AFM13 showed like a 16, 17%. I think it was high teens ORR, whereas like the NK and the NK combo was like 100%. So, right, exactly. Exactly. Good call. Good call. Yeah. Look at this. Good call. I didn't read these yet. And I agree with that right now. This sums me, I mean, basically my views up solid. Yes. Also, good call. So, I would point out if I was the, I mean, I could probably add to it right now, but the point is this is not new information. I'd give him that the insight was the fact that, you know, the Takeda, and I went and looked it up. Yeah, that's true. So I'd give him that. But, and obviously this is not his. This is Seeking Alpha summarizing it too. So, but it really does come down to the NK cells, and then NK with a checkpoint inhibitor. That's where it's really going to work. Because I think you're going to have to need more NK cells in the body, in the proximity. Like, you're going to need that in there for it to work. I mean, unless you're just commanding all the NK cells to show up to the tumor, which I don't think that's how it's really going to work. It's not a dinner bell. It's just helping NK cells find the tumor, essentially. Or not even find, link up. So, yeah, we should see some efficacy if you have some ice floating around, but you might want to have some extra NK cells that, you know, are ready to go with the ice. And therefore, you have NK cells that are prepped to kill cancer. You're not trying to entice NK cells that are, you know, just hanging around, floating around, doing their job, you know, and then you're trying to get them like, hey, come on over here. Come on over here. No, like, get them already pre-programmed and get them going. Anyway. Get them in the combination. So, where are we now? Let's take a look at the charts. Not good. Getting crushed. I'm not touching it now because I think we need the market to start responding to negative news with positive moves. And we're not seeing that. We're seeing negative moves. Negative moves move big time down. And even slightly good news ends up with selling. And that's not just the AFMD. That's across the board. The market does not want to, even if we had good data, you know, we got to wait, because the environment is, for all these speculative names, is like, we're well below my buy target too, and I am not even close to touching the buy button here. It could rally. I mean, I could be adding when it's at $2 and been, you know, yeah, been probably pretty good to buy $1.50, but I just don't see anything right now that's telling me that I need to. And, you know, this thing could pop on good news or an update. Yeah, I have no setups here. Nothing in the RSI. You know, basically all-time lows, right? I mean, we were at $1.75, I think, when I first got the first pop. Yeah, so we're not all-time lows, but we're getting there. So maybe we could take a look down here at 115-ish. I'll throw that in there. How much of this has been algo grind? So there's 1, 2. Here's this one. That's from this high. Yeah, that was the April 20. So yeah, I mean, even you're gonna, if you're throwing money in now, you still got all this volume. You have all these downtrend rays. Anchored VWAP, gotten in control of it, pushed it down. Now the daily anchored VWAPs, look at that, it's just crushing it. Look at that. Push, 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 push. Comes back up into it. Push, 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 push. This is time, like, when this is the analyst looking at this and being like, yeah, I can't keep a $9. I can't do it. Can't do 9. I gotta get low. He's seeing that. It's under 2 now. Beautiful. I mean, and he's right about probably seeing some setbacks. Like, the timelines are probably going to be pushed out. But don't take that as, you know, everything that AFMD has in their pipeline is junk. I will say I would like to hear what they're going to do about focusing up on what really works. Because they're going to need some sort of money coming in at some point. Yeah, you want to keep everything moving forward, and you want to win the races and all these indications and get involved, and that's great. And as long as Genetech is still paying off, you know, still throwing money at them, that's great. But man, these guys are gonna need something across the finish line relatively soon. And if they have to rework something, I'd rather not hear that they're doing, you know, 4 different programs for each asset. Pick one, you know, one program per asset and just get it across the line. Know that it works. Get all your minds working on it. That's my opinion, but, you know, what do I know? Anyway, so the game plan, just hands in the pockets. Wait and see. Wait for the market to finally cool, you know. Again, start responding. Positive news equals positive movements in the share price. And great news is a huge move. Until then, there's just no point throwing money in some of these speculative names that, you know, might be not exactly putting out the best data right now until they figure their what their path forward is. Okay, so I hope that works. All right, stay healthy and good luck.